Hello, everyone. Pardon me. I am sick a bit, so you'll have to forgive my coughing. Hello, Noe. How are you? You reached Dubai and you'll be attending the interview next week. Okay, well, good luck to you, Arun. I hope it goes well. Okay, so I am here, but I am a little bit sick, so I'm not going to be here for too long today. I'll try to be here for an hour as long as I don't feel bad. So, if you have questions, if you want to ask me about something, if you want to talk about something, then do, because I'm only going to be here for an hour. So, make good use of the time. Thank you, Carolina. It's that time of the year. It's time to get sick. I'm waiting. Let's say hello. Hello to Carolina. Hello, Nicholas. Hello, Ken. Hello, Arun and Tomomi. Hello, Xiaomi and Gada. Hello, No and Yu. Hello, Mira and Alexander. Hello, me and Bu and Gabby. Hello, Lily. Hello, Holly. Hello, SK. Oh, excuse me. Do I use the expression in deep waters and in what context? Sure, yeah. If you say we're swimming in deep water, or you say you're getting in deep, or you say these are deep waters, it it usually means either deepness in terms of depth of thought, right? So if we're talking about philosophy, and very deep things, then we could say these are deep waters. That's one way to use it. Another way to use the concept of deep water is to talk about danger, right? So if you're risking more, if things are more dangerous, then you could say we're swimming in deep water now, right? So maybe your company is taking big risks now, You could say your company is swimming in deep water now. Okay? So it could mean about depth of thought, or it could mean about possibility of risk. Okay? Is there a difference between horseback riding and horse riding? No, and yes. Horseback riding is what we call it because it's just more specific. Okay? You're riding on the back of the horse. All right? There is some history to this. Wait a minute. I do remember reading something about this once. Right. So there is the British. The British do usually, or sometimes they say just horse riding. Okay, the British. Americans will say horseback riding. It seems redundant, right? Like, why do you need to say back? Of course it's on the back. Where else are you going to ride a horse, right? But the reason why we say back is because it's like a way to make it more specific and to distinguish between horseback riding and horse carriage riding. Riding in a horse carriage is not the same as riding on horseback, right? So a carriage is the thing that the horse pulls, okay? So, yeah, basically it's because a long time ago there were many ways to travel by horse. Horseback, riding with a carriage, a cart, a wagon. There are many, many ways that you could ride with a horse a long time ago. So that's why they made a more specific, saying, horseback riding. Okay? Hello, Mia. Hello, everyone. How can you learn phrasal verbs? Phrasal verbs are hard because there are many of them, because there is no rule or good way to learn them easily, except you should learn them in groups. You should learn them in groups. So, for example, learn all the phrasal verbs that have get. Get in, get on, get through, get with, get over, get into, right? Think about all of them. Look it up. Just type in get phrasal verbs. There will be a list. Type in phrasal verbs by verb, or if you just type in phrasal verbs by group, something like that, you'll find a lot of lists that will give you the phrasal verbs, but they give you all of the phrasal verbs that use one word. That's a better way to learn. Then what I would suggest is choose phrasal verbs that you think are useful in your life. It's a lot more likely that you will remember if you choose something that you think is useful. So don't just learn all of them. Start by learning the ones that you think are useful to you. Like if you see get into. Get into means to start to like something. I started getting into science fiction books. I started getting into jazz music, right? It means to start to listen to start to use, to start to like something, to start to do something that you like, okay? So if you think that one is useful, then choose that one and say, get into, I could use that. I could get into that. That means I think I could like that. I think I could do that, and maybe I would like it. Okay? Choose ones that you like. All right? Okay, next. You think I am fine? Well, I'm not fine. I am sick. Is that better? Does that sound better now? I am sick. If you can't tell now, I am sick. But I am here. Thank you, Patrick. You are welcome, no. And by the way, no, the word advice, in British English, they spell it with an S, advice, A-D-V-I-S-E. But in American English, we spell it with a C, A-D-V-I-C-E. And in American English, we never use plural advices. In American English, we always say, he gives great advice. Advice can be singular or plural in this case, all right? That's good advice, okay? That's a piece of good advice. That's one. He gives a lot of good advice. That's a lot. Okay? Yes. Uyokuso. Okay, next. Phrasal verbs are difficult because there are a lot of them. They're very similar. Yes, true. Yeah. I manage pretty well when writing French to English, but when it comes to speaking, it's a bit difficult. I think too much. Let me think about my answer for a moment. So when you say you think too much, you're thinking about the differences between French grammar and English grammar? That's what you're spending time thinking on? Is this the right way to say it in English? And I know, everybody's going to yell at me because I'm drinking iced coffee and I'm sick. I know. Okay. Sometimes, occasionally, smart people do dumb things. I still like iced coffee even when I'm sick. So, you speak French, you're learning English, right? But, what are you thinking too much about, Morgan? What are you thinking too much about? Grammar, I assume. Are you mostly thinking about grammar, or are you thinking about vocabulary also? Is that the problem? I'm asking. Vocabulary. Okay. Well, Morgan, that's an easier answer. Okay? If you are having trouble speaking because you think too much because of vocabulary, then you need to learn more vocabulary. That's a very simple answer. Okay? Grammar, that's a different answer. If you're thinking about grammar too much, then you need to do a couple of things. Pay attention. This is a good piece of advice. One thing you need to do is you need to sit down and write down What are the 5 biggest differences in grammar between my language and English? You need to write that down. Whatever language you speak, you need to write down. What's the difference between Spanish grammar and English grammar? What are the 5 biggest differences? What are the 5 biggest differences between Chinese grammar and English grammar? What are the 5 biggest differences between French grammar and English grammar? You need to know what the 5 most important differences are between your language and English. Then you need to learn those 5 things really well. That's it. That's how you fix the grammar, okay? You just need to find the 5 big problems and focus on them. If you can fix those, it doesn't fix all of your grammar, but it fixes most of it. Okay? 80% of the problems that you have in grammar are really only 3 or 4 or 5 problems. 5 mistakes that you make all the time. If you fix those 5 mistakes, you fix 80% of your grammar problems. Okay? So, if you're thinking about vocabulary, you don't know enough vocabulary, that's a problem. You need to study more vocabulary. If you're thinking about grammar too much, you need to know what are the big differences between my language and English. Okay? Okay. If you're new, hi. I'm not new. I have been on HelloTalk for 12 years. Yeah, really, 12 years. No joke. I am an English teacher. Really, no joke. Real English teacher. So, if you have questions, then you should ask me the answer. Okay? If you want advice, then you should ask me. Yes, 12 years. The app is just a little bit older than 12 years. And I started using HelloTalk almost at the beginning of HelloTalk. Okay? Hello, Miguel. Hello, Flavia. Yeah, it sucks to be sick, but hey, what are you going to do? So, if you're new, Sidra, okay, you're new. I can tell you're new. Mr. Shibley is new, I think. There's a new person from Egypt here, okay? If you are new, you should listen and follow, okay? I have 84,000 followers here on HelloTalk. I have been on HelloTalk 12 years. I have been live streaming for 5 years. I'm the #1 recommended teacher on HelloTalk, I think, as far as I know. Okay? So, when you ask big questions like how can I be fluent, or how can I be good, or how can I improve, just come here and listen. Just come here and pay attention. Big questions like that are not really helpful. When you ask a question like, how can I be good? That's not a question that has an answer. It doesn't. Okay? But the answer is come here, pay attention, and start doing the work and learning about better ways to learn English. Better ways. No, don't say you're sorry. Don't say you're sorry. It's okay. Everyone does this. Everyone does this. Everyone comes here when they're new, and the first thing they say is, how can I be great? How can I be fluent? How can I be awesome? How can I... But learning a language is like learning a musical instrument. you have to practice every day. You have to think about it. Like, there's no finish to language. There's no finish to language. Just like there's no finish to music. When you learn the piano, are you ever finished learning the piano? No. When you learn the drums, are you ever finished learning the drums? No. When you learn the guitar, are you ever finished learning the guitar? No. So when you learn a language, are you ever finished learning a language? No. Okay? But if you come here, then every day you can hear about ways to make your language better. Okay? Ways to make your language better. Okay, vocabulary. If you want to know about vocabulary, okay, here is my answer about vocabulary. One moment. This is a link. That link goes to my website. That link doesn't go to my website. That link goes to my blog. Let me show you my blog. This is my blog. And on my blog, let's look at my blog. Here's my blog, okay? And look, there are many articles I've written. I wrote these articles. Me. This guy right here. I wrote these articles, okay? And look, this one here, what is this one? Right here. Oh, look, the importance of having a vocabulary learning system. This is the article you need. If you're learning vocabulary, you need to read that. Okay? Excuse me, I'm so sorry. I do have some water. Okay, so this is my blog, everybody. This is my blog, and on my blog I have many articles that are good for you. This one is about the 8 parts of language. There are 8 parts of language. You need to read about this so you know what they are. This one is about shadowing. Everybody asks me, is shadowing good, Teacher Mark? What is shadowing? Is it good? It's good. But you need to do it the right way. Read this article. This article is about shadowing. This is about the value of learning to teach. Have you ever taught anyone something? Have you ever tried to teach something? If you have never tried to teach something, you should. Learning how to teach something teaches you how to learn better. Okay? Teaching other people helps you understand learning better. Okay? So that's the value of learning to teach. Okay? And then some articles are about things like your social media. You know, how you should follow people. That's great. When you follow people that you like, that's good. But you should block just as many people as you follow. Okay? So every time I follow somebody, I say, oh, I like this person. I want to follow them. I also find somebody that I don't like, and I block them on my social media. Why? Because social media is mostly garbage. Let me say that again. Social media is mostly garbage. And if you are not treating it that way, that's a problem. That means you're eating garbage. Social media is your mental food. It's mental food. That's what you're feeding your brain. Okay? So, are you blocking all the garbage, or are you eating the garbage? Okay? So, my blog is here. Okay? My blog is here. You have to subscribe to it. You must go subscribe. It's free. It's free. It's free. Okay? It's free. Okay, go to my blog and you can read after you subscribe. Okay? I also have a website. And on my website, you also can subscribe for free. And on my website, you can find my blog. You can also find everything you need to study English. It's on my website. Do you want to study grammar? It's on my website. Do you want to study vocabulary? It's on my website. Do you want to study for the IELTS test or the TOEFL test? It's on my website. Do you want to study pronunciation? It's on my website. Reading, writing, listening, speaking, on my website. Okay? So what is my website? What's my website? It's this one. Oh, sorry, that's not it. This one. AFIECEnglish.com. 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 That's my website. Okay? Everything you need to study English is on my website. For free. For free! For free! For free! For free! For free. Okay? Copy and paste, copy and paste, copy and paste. Thank you, Kikook. Thank you. All right? You can get it on Chrome. Yeah. It's on Chrome or on your web browser, whatever web browser you have. Do I think ChatGPT is reliable for helping you study? Okay. Nadia, are you still there, Nadia? I hope you're still there, Nadia. Nadia asked, is ChatGPT reliable for studying? So here's my answer, Nadia. If I told you, Nadia, that I'm going to pay money to have a private teacher live in your house 24 hours a day, and you can ask them anything you want, anytime you want. If you wake them at 3 in the morning and you ask them a question, they will be happy to answer your question, even at 3 in the morning. And this teacher has infinite patience. Infinite patience. It never gets upset. It never gets annoyed. It never gets bothered by your questions. Okay? And you can ask it about anything. Now, it's a teacher. It's a person. So, of course, they know a lot. They know a lot of things. Every teacher does know a lot. But do they know everything? No, they don't know everything. Are they wrong sometimes? Yeah, I'm wrong sometimes. I'm a teacher. I'm wrong sometimes. But still people come and ask me questions, right? So what's my point, Nadia? My point is that everybody asks, is ChatGPT really okay? Is it good? Is it perfect? No, it's not perfect. But if I asked you, do you want a teacher who will live and be there anytime you need a teacher and that's paid for? You would say yes. I would love to have a teacher that I can ask questions anytime I want. I can ask them a question. That's amazing. That's ChatGPT. Is it right all the time? No. But guess what? Neither am I. So many people, when they're asking about ChatGPT and they say, I don't know if it's good, it's like you're trying to say, well, it's not God, so it's not good. That's what most people are saying about ChatGPT. It's not perfect, so it's not great. It's not God, so it can't be good. It's good. It's great. It's amazing. I use it every day. I use it all the time. Is it perfect? No. Does it have problems? Yes. Is it the greatest tool on the planet for learning right now? Yes, it is. And there is no argument to be made otherwise. AI is the greatest tool available on the planet for learning right now. However, AI is only as smart as you are. AI is only as focused as you are. AI is only as diligent as you are. So what that means is if you ask AI a simple dumb question, AI will give you a simple dumb answer. If you take a minute and you think about your question and you make a great question, it will give you a great answer. But most people are just lazy. It's true. You know it's true. Everybody wants everything easy. It's the nature of being human. But you need to remember, my grandfather was a coal miner, okay? He died from digging coal, right? He was poor, okay? Now, do you think it was easy for him to find all this information that we have now? Everything that you can learn right now, everything that's available to you right now. My grandfather had none of that. So, it's insane, it's ridiculous, and it's stupid if you are trying to say that AI is not very good. It's amazing. It's the greatest technology we have ever created so far. Okay? It's not perfect. It's not perfect, but it is freaking amazing. So use it. Okay? Especially for things like language and English and grammar. It's amazing for that. Okay? The only thing that it's not good at really being a human. It's not good at really connecting with you. That's why you come here. You come here because these eyes have real passion in them. And when you see real passion can't be faked, real passion can't be imitated. So that's why you come to me, a real person. Okay? But AI is a brilliant teacher. It just has all the information. It's just not a good motivator, or it's not good at inspiring you. That's why I'm here. Okay? All right. So yes, you should use it. Next question. Let's see. Okay, another example is with pre-modified adjectives, including adjectival verb participles. Oh, I love it when we talk about language this way. It turns me on. It's so sexy when you say things like, these are pre-modified adjectives that include adjectival verb participles. Are the ladies getting turned on? Is anybody getting really excited here? If you ever want to make a girl not like you, just start talking about English grammar. Okay, let's see. Some examples about either and neither. Okay, this one is not that difficult, okay? Either is what you say when you don't really care. Like, whatever is fine, okay? If you say, would you like chocolate or vanilla? Either. That means chocolate is okay. That means vanilla is okay. That means I don't care. It's fine, whatever. Okay? Neither is if you don't like chocolate and you don't like vanilla. Okay, so if they say, do you want chocolate or vanilla ice cream? And you say, neither. That means I don't like chocolate, I don't like vanilla, or I don't want either. Okay? So either is a positive, but it can be used in a negative. I don't want either, or I want neither. It's kind of a funny thing. Okay? And when we say either, we use the word or, and when we say neither, we use the word nor. I like neither vanilla nor chocolate. Okay? So either is for whatever. Okay? Either this or that, they're fine. Would you like either this one or that one? Okay? Neither is I don't like that one or that one. Okay? You want to talk to real people, not AI. Okay, so talk to real people, but use AI. Okay? Still, right? When I was a boy, we didn't have the internet. I'm old. When I was a boy, we didn't have the internet. So when I was a boy, and I had to write a paper for school. I had to use something called an encyclopedia. Do you know what an encyclopedia is? Some of you may not know. In my house, we had a set of books called encyclopedias. And that had all the information of the world in it at the time. That was the internet. It was all in these books, right? So if I wanted to read about Sudan, I would get the S version of the book, right? The S encyclopedia, and I would look up Sudan and read a little bit about Sudan. Or I would go to the library and I'd have to look up the books about Sudan. Now, you can literally ask the computer to tell you about it anywhere, anytime. It's insane. It's amazing. Okay? Okay, next question. Thank you for the gifts and all that. Thank you. We can say sir for men for polite speaking. What should we say for women? Masood, mostly we say ma'am or miss, right? So if you don't know a woman, we often will say miss. Excuse me, miss. Okay, miss means a woman you don't know if she's married or if she's single. Miss, M-I-S-S, M-I-S-S, or you could say M-S, period, right? An abbreviation. That's for a single woman or a woman that you don't know. You don't know if she's single or not. If you don't know, you should just say miss, okay? If she's married, we say Mrs., but that's only if you're addressing her, Mrs. Smith, Mrs. Jones, okay? However, if you're just talking to her, you can just say, excuse me, ma'am. Okay? Excuse me, miss. Excuse me, ma'am. Some people think ma'am is a little bit old. It is a little bit old. The word ma'am actually means madam. It's what the French would say, right? Madame, right? That's where we get the word dame. She's a dame. Means a girl. But ma'am is okay. Miss is probably better in most cases. Okay, miss or sir. Okay, sir for men, miss for women. All right? Or, to be honest, in many cases, it's okay if you just say, excuse me, blah, 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 blah. You don't necessarily have to say sir or ma'am or miss. Okay? You know, just yesterday, Donate is saying, I love the American accent. Just yesterday, I was listening to a teacher on Facebook. She made a post about the American accent, and she was talking about how many words that we don't pronounce the T, And she's a teacher. She is an American English teacher. And she's wrong. Or I should say, the way she taught it is wrong. She was trying to tell everybody that nobody pronounces the T in these words. There are so many words that we don't pronounce the T. And the truth is, we do pronounce the T, but many, many people are just lazy speakers. They don't move their mouth, they don't enunciate. That's why my voice is clear, because look how much my mouth moves. That's why. Okay? This woman, her mouth is lazy. You can see it when she's speaking. She doesn't move her mouth very much. She's lazy when she speaks. And she's teaching it like it's a rule. No, it's not a rule. Okay? Yes, it should be M-A'-A'-M. Madam, ma'am. Okay? Memorizing speeches, is it helpful? Speeches of U.S. presidents? Not particularly, no. Memorizing speeches is helpful for history, for learning history about why was this speech important historically. So memorizing speech is good, or speeches are good for that reason. Memorizing speeches can be good to teach you about how to give a speech. How to give a speech, right? Giving a speech in front of a bunch of people, okay? But memorizing a speech from JFK or from MLK or from Obama or from whoever, that's not really going to help your general English very much at all. So no, I would not spend a lot of time memorizing speeches. I have never memorized a speech in my life. Nobody's speech. I've read them. I know them. I've listened to them. But I've never memorized another speech. I'm not saying you can't. I'm not saying it's not valuable. I'm saying probably there are other things that you should spend time on that would be more valuable. Okay? That's what I would say. You're saying for improving pronunciation. Maybe. But not for memorizing. No. Memorizing, no. Just listen. Okay, listen to people who speak well, who pronounce well. For example, Martin Luther King. Martin Luther King was a preacher, right? He's a preacher. He, every Sunday, would get in front of a big group of people and he would give sermons. A sermon is a religious speech, okay? He gave these speeches. I have a dream, right? These things where he would speak publicly. Now, he spoke well because he was a public speaker. He knows that if you're in church and you're trying to give an important speech, if you don't speak clearly and you don't speak well and you don't speak with good diction and enunciation, then maybe some people won't hear you. Okay? So if you say, I have a dream, everyone in the room will hear that and know what you said. But if you say, I have a dream, Grandma in the back of the room is not going to hear that. Grandma's not going to hear that. Okay? You must learn how to enunciate. You must learn how to project. You must learn how to speak at a good speed. A listenable speed. Okay? How do you pronounce the middle T? I think it's D, sometimes half silent. You're exactly correct. You're right. Let's talk about the word butter. Butter. It is B-U-T-T-E-R. And if you say it slowly, and if you enunciate, then it will be pronounced butter. could you please pass the butter? Okay? That is a correct pronunciation. There is nothing incorrect about it or un-American about saying butter with a hard T. However, as I said, many people don't enunciate. And if you don't enunciate, then the hard T's become almost like a soft D. Or, Annie, I like to think about it like they have the letter T in two parts. Okay, there's the front part of the T and the back part of the T. Okay, and when you speed up the word butter and you say butter, 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 it's like you took the T and now you took off the front part of the T. So now that hard that very strong is gone. Now it's just the back part of the T. Like a soft D. Okay? But it does depend on the word. For example, there's one word that drives me crazy. Many Americans now, even on the news, the word important. Important. This is very important. Most Americans say important. They have what's called a glottal stop. A glottal stop. But it's lazy. It's lazy pronunciation. Okay? There are many people who it's like important. That's just wrong. I hear it all the time, but that's just wrong. Okay? How do I know it's wrong? How do I know that the letter T should be a strong T? How do I know that? Do you know how I know? I know that the letter T, the last T there, it should be strong. I'm sorry, the middle T should be strong. I know because I know where this word comes from. The word important is related to the word import. What is an import, Masood? Do you know what an import is? Your country has many imports. What are they? Imports are things that your country buys because you need them. You don't have them, so you need them. So you buy them. They are imports. That's why they are important. Imports are important. You see how that works? The word important comes from the word import. So it's weird. It's just lazy. Okay? And here's the other reason why I know it's lazy. Because the way I speak, everybody understands. Okay? Because it's clear. Because I'm exaggerating my pronunciation. Okay? But many teachers, they speak like common people. And the common people do not speak clearly. The common people speak like my nephew Alex, who I love dearly. But if I talk to my nephew, when I talk to him, I'll say, "Oh, hey, Alex, what did you do this weekend?" And he will say, "Oh, hey, Uncle Mark, well, this weekend I went out with my friends and we went to the movies and we had a good time at the movies." He does not enunciate. He doesn't move his mouth very much. So it's not clear when he speaks. Even we have to sometimes tell him, "Huh? What? What did you say? What?" Okay? So there's a big difference between speaking well and speaking. Okay? Just remember that. The average person is just speaking. They're just speaking. They're not trying to speak well. Many of them may not even be able to speak well. Okay? All right. Okay. Oh, my voice. Okay, I'm waiting. More questions. Give me more questions. I have about 10 minutes. 10 more minutes. And then I'm going to take a break because I'm sick. So you have 10 minutes to ask me more questions about grammar and vocabulary and pronunciation and confidence and enunciation. Whatever. Ask me, ask me, ask me. That's why it's called Ask Teacher Mark. That's me. Ask Teacher Mark. That's why I shadow Obama, because I understand his speech and I try to speak like him. Masood, yeah. Okay, so you're right. Obama, regardless of politics, I'm not talking about politics. I'm only talking about good speaking technique. And you're right. Obama is an exceptionally good speaker. He has a lot of experience speaking well. Okay? Yeah, so you're right. He's a good model for that. You're right. Mm-hmm. Is there any native accent in the U.S. according to geographic location? Yes, there are 30. There are about 30 accents in the United States. In my state, we have 3 accents just in my state. Okay, this is called the Midland, Ohio accent. Midland, Ohio accent. But we have a Boston accent, a New Jersey accent, a New York accent, a Bronx accent, a Queens accent, a Georgia accent, a South Carolina accent, a Texas accent, a Louisiana accent. There are many, many, many accents in the United States. Okay? Yeah, Chicago too. Yeah, sure. All right. The word aisle, Januario, it's aisle. A-I-S-L-E is pronounced aisle. The S is silent. Okay? Aisle. How do you pronounce G and J? Becca, G has 2 pronunciations. Hard G, g-g-g-g-g, like go, 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 go. That's hard G. But there's also the soft G, like in the word giraffe. Giraffe, that's a soft G. Okay? And the soft G does kind of sound like a J, right? Like the word jar and giraffe, they're the same sound. Okay? So in most cases, the J sound is just j, like jar. Okay? And the J sound, Becca, is very similar to the Chinese like zhong, zhong, zhong. It's almost the same as the American J sound. Okay? Let's see. One moment. So Carlos is asking about need as a semi-modal verb. Semi-modal verbs basically just means a sentence where you don't need to use to. You can get rid of to, right? Like you need not have anything with you. You need not have a pencil. You need not worry. You need not study. Okay? It's a kind of a formal way to speak. When you speak that way, it's very formal. Okay, usually. And it's very formal, and it's usually used for things like need I remind you, or you need not worry, or yeah. But the other way would be you need to go, you need to do, you need to whatever, right? You need to something. Okay? I hope that answers your question. You were listening to an interview of Joe. Okay, I don't know who that is, but every time he says words like L-A-K or L-A-C, huh? M. Loris. I'm not sure, but I think you're probably talking about the word like. Sometimes people, when they're nervous, they say the word like a lot, right? So they're telling a story. And the story should just be, I went to the store with my friend and we bought some soda. That should be the story. But they're kind of nervous. So when they speak, they say, I went to the store with my friend and we bought some soda. Like. So probably you're talking about that. That's the word like, and it's a nervous thing called a filler word. Filler words are when you're nervous, you add all these little extra words or things like whatever. Those are filler words. Okay? Carlos, there's a famous jazz song from Thelonious Monk called Well, You Needn't. Well, You Needn't. Alabama too, yeah. How do so many accents form? Bella, China has more than 30. If you go to China, China's big too. America is big, China is big. Anytime you have a large area of land, that language will change over that land. Okay? It develops differently in different places with different people. That's everywhere. So, if I go to Beijing, 他们用很装的那个是那个是 right 还是如果我说男的中国人男的中文不好意思我的脑太累了在台湾的他们说一点点不是一点点对不对是一样的差不多 okay if you go to Xinjiang they speak a little bit differently than in Beijing if you go to Xi'an they speak a little bit differently than they do in Mongolia okay same thing okay Masood says, when I close my eyes, I speak well, but on stage I'm always shy and I can't speak. Being on stage takes practice. If you don't feel comfortable doing something, you didn't do it enough. It's very simple. If you want to be a master of speaking on stage, then you need to get on stage a lot, every day. Be on stage. If you are on stage every day, you will not be shy anymore. Okay? Can I suggest some tricks for fluent speakers of English for beginners? Yes. The trick is, come watch me. That's the trick. There are no tricks. If there were tricks, then everyone would do it. If there were tricks, there would be no teachers. If it was easy, there would be nobody would be here. Okay, there are no tricks. Come, watch, listen, try. Come, watch, listen, try. Come, watch, listen, try. That's the secret. That's the trick. Have I always been confident since I was a child? Okay. I will say no. I will say no. However, I think some people would disagree with that. Okay? For example, one of my favorite teachers is a teacher that I had in the 5th grade. Okay? He was my 5th grade teacher. And I'm still friends with him now. Okay, I'm friends with him. It's really great. You know, I became a teacher. He's a teacher. He inspired me as a teacher. And now we're friends. It's amazing. I can't even understand it. I have such respect for him that it's crazy to feel like I'm a colleague now. That's too weird for me. But if you asked him if I was confident when I was a boy, I'm pretty sure he would say yes. He did tell me that. He told me that. We went to lunch and he said, when I told him I'm doing online stuff and I teach and everything, he said, oh, well, I knew you would do something like performing. He was not surprised that I was a musician. He was not surprised I was a performer. Okay? Because he thought I was confident even when I was a little kid. But I don't feel I was confident when I was a kid. I don't think I was confident until I was in my 30s. Okay? Until I was in my 30s, maybe then I got confident. But before that, I don't think I was confident. Do you know why? Confidence comes with experience. So when you see my confidence, you're seeing experience. It's not arrogance. It's because I have been here for more than 2,000 hours. No joke. I have been teaching here, just here, only here, for 2,000 hours. I started teaching when I was 18 years old. So that's why you think I'm confident, because I have experience. Experience makes it easy to be confident. Okay? Should I learn English grammar rather than study it? Do I absolutely have to read a lot? If you're taking the IELTS test or the TOEFL test, you need to study grammar a lot. If you're in high school or college and studying English, you need to study grammar a lot. If you have a job that uses English in an important way, like you're a doctor or a lawyer or an accountant or something where your language matters, then grammar is important. But if you're not taking a test and you're not at school and you're not at a job that uses English, then no, it's not that important. Grammar is like the rules of driving. Do you think about the rules of driving a lot when you're driving? Do you actually think about the rules? No, you drive. You know them. You already know the feel of the rules. It's the feel that you need to know. You don't need to memorize the actual rule. You need to memorize the feel of the rule. So that's why most Americans, if you ask most Americans to explain grammar, they can't. They know it. They can speak well. Many, some. But they can't explain it because they don't know the rule anymore. They just know the feel of the rule. Just like when I speak Chinese, there's a different order. The words are in a different order. But the more you do it, the more you start to feel like, oh, I think I understand now. This should go here, right? You get the feel of it, okay? Am I speaking at a normal speed? I speak a little bit more slowly when I teach, okay? 我不会说中文，为什么你问我？You wrote things about tricks in your moments deconstructing English. Okay, but when I tell people there are no tricks, I tell you that because you need to understand. If you want to be good or great at something, you can't do it with tricks. Think of everybody who you know who's good at something. Are they good because they know simple tricks, or are they good because they know? Masters are not masters because they know a few simple tricks. Masters are masters because they know. Okay? Hello, David. What's the difference between can and could? So there are many, many ways to use can and could, but, and by the way, this is a good question for ChatGPT, and this is a good question for just Google. Okay, there are maybe 50 websites that will answer this question, maybe 100 websites that can tell you the difference between can and could. If you just look it up, it's there, I promise. Okay, I'll give it to you now. I'm going to show you. Actually, wait, I'll show you. Look, here's another great website that I sometimes use. I use a website called Woodward English. Go here. This is the link that I just gave here, okay? And if you go here, look, here it is. This is a website called Woodward English, okay? It's free. And look, here's can, and they tell you what can does. It can express ability, possibility, or permission. And here are examples. Okay, and then here's could. Okay, and look at this. They have a beautiful little picture here that tells you everything. Let's look at that carefully. Can. General ability. I can speak English. Permission. Can I borrow your pen, please? To request something. Can you help me? Possibility. It can get very cold. It can get very cold up there. To offer to help someone. Can I carry your bags for you? Cannot or can't is not allowed. You cannot smoke in this room. You can't go to the party. Okay, there it is. Can. Could. General ability in the past. I could play the piano when I was younger. For permission, but more polite. Could I use the bathroom, please? Okay. To request something, more polite. Could you pass me the salt, please? Possibility in the past. What? You could have broken your leg. You could have, but you didn't. Or a suggestion. We could go to the movies if you'd like. Okay? Or it's a conditional of can. If we had some oranges, I could make you some fresh juice. If I had some oranges. But we don't. Okay? So, there you go. There's can and could. Okay. Could I ask a question about how to pronounce often with a T or without? Doesn't matter. Some people say often, some people say often. I say both, I think. I think there are some times when I say often without the T, and there are some times when I might say I often go to the park. All right? No one cares. All right? Whatever you want. It doesn't matter. Your tricks are about the right way to think about how to practice. Well, so are mine. So are mine, Bella. I'm writing a book about it. Okay? But I have to write a book because it's too much. Okay? Your English teacher cares? Well, your English teacher is wrong. Nobody cares. I'm telling you. If you spend any time in America, you will hear many people say with a T and many people without. I assure you, it does not matter. And I am a teacher. Okay? Okay? I'll prove it to you just to make sure that you understand. Wait, let's see. Let's try this. One moment. Let's look at what AI says. Let's see if AI agrees with me. Does it matter if you pronounce the T in often in American English? No, it does not matter if you pronounce the T in often in American English. Both the pronunciation with the T and the one without are considered correct and are used by native speakers. Ding, 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 ding. He wins. He wins for the win. Goal! So you can go back to your teacher, Lou. You can go back to your teacher, and you said, when I said often without the sound of the T, she said it was a mistake. So you can go back to your teacher, and you can say, my new teacher said that you can often say often without the T. All right? Nobody cares, really. Okay? I sometimes say it with a T and I sometimes don't. Okay? Okay, let's see. Next question. ChatGPT is not good for improving speaking because ChatGPT always says you're good, you're awesome. ChatGPT is like a slave, not a teacher. Masood, guess what, Masood? Guess what? If you are my student, guess what I do? I also tell you, wow, that's great, Masood. That's really good. That's really good. But let's try to fix this. Every time I tell my students something, I always say something positive, just like ChatGPT. Any good teacher will be positive most of the time. So you're right. It's overly positive still. It's still overly positive. But all you have to do is just not be easily flattered. Okay? Flattery means to say nice things. Oh, you're so smart, you're so brilliant, you're so handsome. That's flattery. If you feel really great when people flatter you, then ChatGPT will not work well for you. But I don't really care when people say you're so amazing, you're so great, you're the best. I'm glad you think so, but that's not really, it doesn't really affect me. Okay? My personal sense of myself is more important than your personal sense of myself. Let me say that again. My personal sense of myself is more important than your personal sense of myself. Okay? But every teacher is positive most of the time. So ChatGPT is positive most of the time. You just have to Sometimes you just have to tell it, you know, don't flatter me so much. You can say that. You can tell it, hey, do me a favor. Be a little bit less positive. You can tell it to, hey, be a little more real with me. Okay, push back more. Tell it to push back more, and it will. Tell it to be more strict, and it will. Okay? All right, let's see. You want to learn international trade from me? I don't know international trade. How to stop stuttering when speaking, Caesar wants to know. Caesar, if you're still here, I hope you're still here. Caesar, when you stutter, do you stutter in your language and in English, or just in English? Just in English. Okay. Then the answer is easy. People stutter when they're nervous. People stutter when they're not comfortable. People stutter when they don't have enough experience. The more you do it, the more you practice, the more comfortable you will be, and the more you'll relax. But, Caesar, you need to tell yourself, relax, man, relax. It's just language. It's just words. Okay? It's not something really difficult. It's just words. All right, so just relax. Calm down. Take a deep breath. If your phone is not working right, what do you do with your phone? If your phone is not working well, what should you do? What do you do? I want an answer. Tell me. If your phone is not working right, what do you usually do? You restart, right? You do a restart. You turn it off and you turn it back on, right? If your computer is not working right, what do? You restart, right? So guess what, Caesar? There's a way to restart the human. There's a human restart button. I'm going to show it to you, okay? This is the human restart button. If you stutter, if you're nervous, if you feel like you're not working right, something's not working right, you should restart. So let me show you. I'm going to show you what it is. This is restarting a human. Okay? Watch me. Do you ever do that? You should. I restart myself every day, a few times. Take a breath. Take a breath. That's the restart. That's the restart button on a human. Okay? So when things are not working, when you are not working, when life is not working, here's that button right here. It's right behind your right ear. Just push that button and then go. I'm restarted. Okay? Okay, let's see. Oh, wow, I've been here much longer than I said I would, but that's okay. I have a question. How do you handle nonsense opinions? From who, Nisha? From who? How do you handle nonsense opinions from who? Merriam says academic English is different from slang. In academic English, you can't make minor mistakes like pronouncing T, but in slang, nobody cares about rules. You're kind of right. You're kind of right, Merriam. When you say mistakes like pronouncing T, I'm not sure what you're referring to, but if you're talking about the word often and often, that is not a rule. That is not a rule. There is no rule about often and often. There is no rule. That's why the answer is both are okay. And often and often, whether it's casual, slang, or academic English, the rule is still no rule. So if I'm in an academic situation and I say I often study on Friday, that's fine. If I say I often study on Friday, that's also fine in an academic setting. Okay? There are some words where the pronunciation is both. Neither, neither, either, either. Both are acceptable. Okay? So, when someone says, how do you handle nonsense opinions? It depends on who it's coming from. If I hear an opinion from my father, that opinion matters to me. I'm going to listen. If I hear some opinion from some guy on Hello Talk, yeah, no, I don't care. I don't know you. I don't know anything about you. So I have no idea whether you have any credibility in what you say. Okay? So for most people, I may listen to your opinion, but that doesn't mean that I will agree, and that doesn't mean that I will how do I say this? I may listen to your opinion, but that doesn't mean that it's right. Okay? Next. When I say memorized speech with an American accent, it gives me confidence. Okay. If it gives you confidence, then do it. Okay? If it gives you confidence, then do it. I'm drinking coffee. Teacher AS, hello. How are you? Thank you. What does the for the record mean? For the record, Peter, means the record means what you wrote down. Okay? The record of what happened means a recording. Someone is writing down what happened. That's a record of what happened. So, for the record means, for example, the phrase for the record originally comes from court. Okay, court. In court, if you say, I didn't do it, I swear, it was not me. For the record, you're saying you didn't do it. So for the record means officially, we're writing this down. You said you didn't do it. So we're going to write that down on the record. Okay? So for the record means officially, what do you believe? Or officially, what did you say? Okay? Officially. So often is always in the... no. Becca, 都可以. Often, often, 都可以. 随便. 随便. Okay? Have I recovered? Not really, no. I still have a bad cough. But it's a little bit better right now, for some reason. You heard it from the Suits TV show, right? Because Suits is about lawyers. And lawyers... If a lawyer says, Your Honor, he's not guilty, that's on the record. That's official. If you lie on the record, that's a crime. Okay, so on the record means officially, somehow. Okay? Okay. Oh, I like that name, Steak Burger. 牛排汉堡很好吃. Next, I can understand every single word because your pronunciation is very clear. How can you be used to hearing very fast words and unclear pronunciation? You can't. You can't, goddess. When you learn a language, you will never understand everyone. You might understand most people, but you'll never understand everyone. Okay? There are some people who just don't speak well. Maybe they speak poorly. Maybe their pronunciation is really bad or unclear or a very strong accent, or their grammar is really poor, or they use a lot of slang, or all of those things together. Maybe they have poor grammar, a lot of slang, a thick accent. So there are many reasons why maybe you might understand this guy, but you won't understand this girl. Okay? So, listening takes practice. But you need to listen to people who speak well. Okay? Don't waste your time on people who don't speak well. Okay? Do you practice English with you? Okay. If you are new, hi. If you are new, there are 94 people here. 94 people are talking to me right now. Dear Muhammad, hi, Muhammad. I know you're here, but you just got here. You just got here. I have been here for 1 hour and 30 minutes. I've already been here for a long time, okay? If you are interested in learning English, then you can follow me and watch me every day. I'm here almost every day. I'm not here on Sunday. I'm not here on Sunday, okay? But I am a real teacher. 84,000 people follow me, and I'm here to answer questions almost every day. Yes, you can ask me a question. Write your question, Muhammad. Write it. Hello, Giuseppe. How are you? I just want you guys to remember, please, everyone here wants to talk to me. Everyone here wants to practice English. I will talk to you if you have a question. You have to have a question. What's your problem? Give me your problem and I'll talk to you. Okay? But if you just want to chat, no. Okay? Why do people fear failure more than regret? Ooh, I like that question. Because most people think that risk is risk. Risk is risky, right? So when you try new things, you take a risk. Okay? So that's why many people don't try new things. Because it's risky. They might fail. So that's why many people, they regret what they didn't do, not what they did do. Because most of the time, the things that you do, in my experience as a human, most of the things that you do will have positive value, ultimately. What that means is, maybe there are some things that might seem a little bit bad now, but later they'll seem good. Okay? later they'll seem good. All right? So sometimes in life, bad things happen, and they seem really terrible at that time, but they make you better. You learn. You grow. Okay? All right. Have I come to China? Well, I've been to Hong Kong many times, and I lived in Taiwan for a few years. Okay? Mohammed, there are so many people here. Do you see how many people are here? Everybody's talking to me, Mohammed. Okay? I know you want to speak with me, but everybody does. Okay? What should I do if I'm afraid to talk to foreigners? I feel they speak too fast. I can't understand clearly. Maybe. Okay, so L. 你可以告诉他们，不好意思，我的英文有一点不好，可以说慢一点吗？That's what I say in Chinese. So 不好意思，我的中文有一点不好，可以说慢一点吗？ If someone is speaking too fast, just ask them. Can you speak a little more slowly and simply for me, please? Okay? Becca says, sometimes I want to speak, but I don't have enough words to express them. How to handle this? Learn more words, Becca. Learn more words. Okay? Vocabulary is important, Becca. All right? You need a good system. Last night I saw a TV program about flying a U-2 Army plane. I understood about 50% of the program due to technical vocabulary. Yeah. A show like that, yeah. There will be many words that are technical terms about airplanes and things that maybe will be hard. In an academic context, is it better to learn American English or British English? Is there a difference between them in grammar and words? I'm so confused. So in an academic context, no, there's no better or worse. British accent is great, American accent is great. That doesn't matter, okay? But there are many differences in the way we spell words. There are many differences in the grammar between British English and American English. Okay, there are many differences in the pronunciation, obviously. Okay, but a smart person is a smart person. So if you say something smart with a British accent, great, it was smart. If you say something smart with an American accent, great, it was smart. No one smart thinks there's any difference between the two. Okay? Dear teacher, one time you said writing, reading, speaking, listening, grammar, vocabulary, pronunciation, thinking. Yeah, it's reading, writing, speaking, listening, thinking. Those are the 5 active parts of language. Reading, writing, listening, speaking, thinking. Reading, writing, listening, speaking, thinking. Reading, writing, listening, speaking, thinking. Those are the 5 active parts of language. But there are also 3 passive parts of language. That's vocabulary, grammar, and pronunciation. Vocabulary, grammar, pronunciation. Vocabulary, grammar, pronunciation. Okay? Am I using an app? I'm using my computer. You can use your computer to make a stream. Okay? Okay, Mohammed, I'm going to bring you on my stage for just 1 minute. However, Mohammed, next time you join, you need to do what everybody else is doing and write your questions in the channel like everyone else, okay? I don't have special students. I have all my students. Hello, Mohammed.
Hello there, sir. How are you doing?
I'm fine. What can I do for you? What's your question?
Okay, I just want to. I just have one question. I'm an English instructor, and sometimes when I teach to my students, there is some word that I don't know,
Mm-hmm. Okay. And
and I want to tell you what should I do when I'm studying English for 3 years, and there are also many words that I don't know.
okay, so guess what? Teachers are guides. Do you know what a guide is? What's a guide? A guide, Guide. A guide is someone who shows you around. They show you something.
Direct,
Okay?
give direction.
Yeah, that's a guide. Okay? So teachers are guides. Teachers are not gods. They don't know everything. Teachers don't know everything. They know more than the students. That's all. Okay? So you don't have to know
Yeah, that,
you don't have to know everything, Muhammad. When your student asks you a question, if you don't know, you can tell them, I don't know, but I will find out. That's what you should say. You should say, I don't know this word, but I'm going to learn it and I'll teach it to you tomorrow. I don't know the answer to this question, but I will find it and then I will teach it to you tomorrow. So many students, they sometimes the students will ask you a question because they want to see, do you know everything? They want to test you, right? They want to see, do you know everything? So when they do that, it's a good lesson to teach them. You don't know everything. You're a human being. But if you don't know something, show them what you should do. If you don't know, go find out. Okay? So I love it when if my students say, hey, Teacher Mark, do you know what this means? And I say, I don't know, but I'll go find out and then I'll tell you tomorrow. Or sometimes, Muhammad, I'll say, that's a good question. That's your homework. Now that's your homework. Okay? So if your student says, hey, what does this mean? You can say, I don't know, but that's a good question. Can you find the answer and then tell us tomorrow? Come back and tell us tomorrow. You're teaching your student to go find the answers. You're teaching your student that you have to find the information, that you have to go get it. Okay? But remember what I said. Teachers are not gods. Teachers are guides. They're just guides. They just help you. Okay? That's it. So I don't know everything.
yes,
I just know more than you.
yes, teacher, but sorry, teacher, but there are some words that are so simple. What should I do when I don't know about the simple
That's
words?
okay. You're still learning. You're still learning. Just keep learning. That's all. Okay?
Yes.
Yeah, just keep learning. Remember that you are an example for them. So, show them that you are still learning. They know you're not an expert. They know you're not a master of English. They know. They know you're still learning. That's okay. That's okay. Just be positive. Be optimistic. Yeah? Be positive and keep trying. That's all. You need to show them that you are still learning too. And that's okay. Okay? And Muhammad, I'm a teacher.
Uh,
And I have been teaching for more than 30 years. I've been teaching for 30 years. But, Muhammad, I'm still learning. Okay? Even after 30 years. After 30 years of teaching, I'm still learning. Okay? Muhammad, I hope you can hear me. I know the connection's not so good there. Okay, so, Mohammed, did you hear me? I hope.
Yes,
Okay.
I'm hearing
All right,
you,
good,
sure.
good,
Yes.
good, good. Yeah. All right, so just, how old are you? How old are you, Mohammed?
Me, I am 16 years old, teacher.
You're 16. Of course you don't know everything.
Yeah, teacher, yeah, you're right. I'm learning English 3 years.
Okay.
3 years.
Oh,
It's 3
okay.
years.
But 3 years is still nothing. 3 years is nothing. How old is the Afghani language? How old? How many years is the Afghani language? Thousands of years, right? Languages are very old. So that means you can't just study a language for this much and think that you have enough. No. Languages are something you study forever. Okay? Language is like music. You're never finished. You're never finished learning about music. You're never finished learning about language. Okay? You're never finished. Just keep working on it. All right? You're 16, man. That's great. At 16, your English is great. Okay? Just keep working on it. You are a good example for them. All right? Show them that you're still learning. Show them. And it's great that you're teaching. Teaching is really great practice. When you teach something, you really need to know it. If you don't know it, you can't teach it. Right? So, teaching something makes you focus. Teaching something makes you really learn it more deeply. So teaching is great. It's wonderful practice for you. Okay? I'm sure your English is going to be great because you're teaching. Okay?
Thank you so much, teacher. And just one thing more.
Okay? Yes?
How should we memorize a word, a vocabulary?
You shouldn't memorize them. Memorizing is not a good way to learn. Memorizing is what we do only if you don't really have time to learn, then you memorize. So if you have a test, right? The test is on Friday, then you memorize. But if you want to know something forever, then you must learn it more deeply. Okay? So, learning a word is like making a spider web. Okay, a spider makes a web, but when a spider makes a web, they make many, many, many web connections, right? There's so many connections, and that's why it's strong, because it has so many connections. But when you memorize, it's one connection. It's weak. That's why it doesn't work. So, when you learn, you have to learn and make many connections with those words. Make many, many connections. So, for example, if you're learning a new word, do you know where does that word come from? For example, the word restaurant. Mohammed, you know the word restaurant, right?
Yes, I know.
Okay,
Of
so
course.
that word comes from French. Did you know that?
Yeah.
Okay, and the word kindergarten. Kindergarten comes from German. Many English words come from other languages. Okay, and when you learn where they come from, that helps you remember. When you learn what was the original meaning, that helps you remember. When you practice writing the sentence with the word, that helps you remember. So, your question was, how can I learn words with memorizing? And my answer is, don't memorize. Memorizing is pretending to learn. Memorizing is not really learning. Okay? So I want you to find deeper ways to learn the words, deeper ways to connect to the words so that you remember them forever. Okay? So learning vocabulary is like making a spider web. You need to make a lot of connections so it's strong. Okay? Lou says 58% of English words came from Old French and Latin. You're almost right, Lou. There are many people who talk about the percentages. It's what I usually say is 60% of English words come from Latin or Greek. 30% of English words come from French. 20% of English words come from German. So, and we have English words from Arabic. We have English words from Persian. We have English words from Hindi. We have English words from Chinese and Japanese and Italian and Spanish. Okay? So English is a language that is made of many languages. Okay? That's why English is a little bit complicated sometimes. Okay? Now, Mohammed, I need to go because it's a little bit late, but I hope that that helped you a little bit. And come back and see me again sometime, okay? Come watch, okay? I'm a teacher. Many, many teachers watch me. I don't know why, but they do. So you can come watch me also, all right?
Yeah, okay, I'll follow you.
Okay.
I'll do it.
Great.
I'll do it.
Wonderful.
Exactly.
Okay. All right.
You didn't tell me that what should I do when we don't memorize the words? What should I do instead of memorizing?
You need to find better ways to learn, okay? So, for example, here, I want to give you this. Wait a minute. Can you use ChatGPT?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I can.
Okay, so then here is what I want you to do. I am going to give you an article that I wrote. I wrote an article about vocabulary, but it's a little bit difficult, okay? So what you can do is you can copy this article and then paste it into ChatGPT, and you can ask ChatGPT, please help me understand this article, okay? So here is the article you need, okay? If you go to this is my blog. This link I just gave right there. That's the link, okay? You have to subscribe first. It's free. No, you don't need any money. You just have to give me your email, and then you can read everything, okay? And if you don't understand, then ask ChatGPT to help you understand. It might be a little bit difficult for you, but ChatGPT will help you understand, okay?
Yes, sure. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Give your link.
Okay, well, take care, and I'll see you next time then, Mohammed. Okay? Bye-bye, my friend. Oh, man. Okay, I've been here for almost 2 hours. I said I was going to do 1. I always do this, even when I'm sick. Let me just check the comments here. Hello, Easy English. Hello, Zoe. How can we speak English without studying grammar? You can't. You can't. You have to study some grammar. Okay? You have to study some. You can't learn any language without learning some grammar. Okay? I hate grammar too. I hate grammar. But it's necessary. Okay? It's necessary. Do I have China and YouTube? I don't know what you're asking. I have a YouTube. If that's what you're asking, I have a YouTube. Here's my YouTube. Okay? That's my YouTube. This is my website. And this is my blog. Okay? Let me please just check the comments and make sure I didn't miss anything, any other questions. Yeah, so again, the history of English, where English comes from, it's kind of my hobby. I love to read about the history of where the language comes from and how the words developed. So I know more than anyone should know about that. So yeah, you can ask me about that if you want. Announce my broadcast plans. Tara, I'm usually here Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Okay? In the morning sometime, I'm here. So I live in America. It's almost 12 o'clock right now. It's noon, lunchtime, right now. I started about 2 hours ago. Okay? So I always start in America, New York City time, right? America has 3 different time zones, right? So, or 4 really, but if you are looking for my time zone, it's New York City time. Okay, so in the morning in New York, I'm here. In the morning in New York, I'm here. Okay, except for Sunday. Sunday is the one day I'm not here. Okay, if I'm busy, I'm not here. Okay, maybe I'm too busy. I have something to do. Maybe I'm sick. Today I was sick, but I still came. Okay, maybe I'm tired, so I take a break. Okay, but I'm usually here. Okay, I have been on Hello Talk for 12 years. I have done more than 1,200 live streams. I have taught for more than 2,000 hours here. Okay, and I have about 84,000 followers here. Okay, you're in a conundrum. What's your conundrum? Do I have Facebook? Not really, no. How to improve your oral English? 我感觉你的说话的英文只是不好，因为你感觉你需要说话，每天你感觉你需要说话，你不需要，你需要想的，你不可以说的，因为你不可以想的，听得懂吗？Oh, okay. I'm getting tired. What's the difference between perceive and anticipate? To perceive is perception. That's a sense of seeing. To perceive means to see or understand through seeing. Okay? So perception is about sight. Okay? I can perceive a problem means I can see a problem is going to happen. Okay? Now, in this case, it's like you're saying, I can see this will be a problem, which is a kind of anticipation, right? To anticipate means you know something will happen. Okay? So, anticipate is the verb of the feeling. Anticipation, that's the noun, right? Anticipation is a feeling that something's going to happen. Something is going to happen. That's anticipation. Okay, I'm anticipating, means I'm expecting something will happen. If I say I perceive something will happen, that's more like I predict. I can see this will be a problem. Okay? It's more like predicting. But anticipating is more like you just know something's going to happen. Okay? Can you jump on my stage? You can. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, AS, 1 second. How can you improve your English speaking? Please just come regularly and watch, okay? Big questions like that are not really that useful. But 84,000 people follow me. And they don't follow me because I'm cute. They follow me because I teach. Okay? So follow and come. Follow, come, watch, try. Follow, come, watch, learn, try. Follow, come, watch, learn, try. Okay? And what's the difference between go back and come back? it depends on the context, Carlos. Sometimes nothing, but sometimes the context might be different. I'm going back home. I'm coming back home. So they're both about the same thing, but they're talking in two different ways. To go it means you are moving forward. To come means you are receiving. So it's the difference between talking about a ball that's being thrown and a ball that's going to be caught. It's the same ball. It's the same ball. But one is talking about throwing it and the other one is talking about catching it. Okay? My broadcast schedule. 星期一到星期六，大概的早上，美国的早上 ，OK， 大概9点还是10点早上 ，OK， 9点还是在中国就是晚上的，在美国就是早上的 ，OK。Thank you, Tara. And take notes, Norman. Such a good student. Thank you, Norman. How to improve speaking from B1 to C1. You don't. Jules, you practice from B1 to B2 and B2 to C1. You can't go from B1 to C1. You can't run before you walk. You can't walk before you crawl. Okay? Do I speak Russian? Нет. Что? Привет. And до свидания. Because I'm tired. I must go. All right? Thank you very much. I have to go. I'm tired. I'm sick. I want to take a break. So I will see you guys next time, okay? Have a good morning. Have a good evening. Have a good afternoon. Bye. Oh, Teacher AS, I'm so sorry. I totally spaced. I'm so sorry, AS. Let's just talk very quickly, though, because I'm tired. All right?
I just wanted to say hi to you.
Yeah, I'm sorry, dude. I totally spaced. I was supposed to be only on for an hour today because I'm sick, and now it's been 2 hours. But yeah.
You don't even sound sick. I mean, last time I saw you, you were sounding as if you were like...
I have a bad cough. I have a really, yeah.
Because of the change of weather, I guess. We're just transitioning from summer to winter. That's why.
Yeah, it's fall here now, and I'm allergic to mold. So that means the trees, the leaves fall, and it's moldy everywhere. And so I wake up in the morning, and it's like I went camping. You know how that feels when you wake up in the morning and you're camping and your head is all stuffed up and it's cold and you can't breathe and all that stuff is like draining in the back of my throat and I'm coughing constantly. So yeah. So
I hope you feel better.
I think it's a combination of allergies, but I think it's also maybe a little cold. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. I think it's both.
More lukewarm water with some salt. That's what I would say.
Yeah. I usually do hot water with ginger and honey and lemon.
Oh.
That'll fix you right up.
You can't beat that, can't you?
That'll fix you right up. Yeah. So anyway, man, well, I'm good to see you that you got back on Hello Talk and, just
Thank you for talking to me the other day.
Pace yourself. All right, man? Pace yourself. That's the thing about Hello Talk. Pace yourself. All right?
Hey, I'm working too much to the point that I'm trying to be like you. Trying to set a timer and try not to go beyond that timer.
Yeah, and you need to remember that, there's a certain addictive quality that comes to hosting that, you get a feeling you want to be connected to your people. Right? You want to be talking to them all the time. But that can lead to
burnout.
Yeah. It can lead to a weird sense of you don't have any time anymore. Your time is not yours anymore because you can always be online and you can always find someone to talk to. That's very, very tiring, and it can burn you out. And I had to learn that the hard way too. So just now that you're back, pace yourself.
I'm trying not to be on here that much. I've been back for 2 weeks, but I work so much to the point that I'm like, I can't be on here all the time.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's not necessarily a bad thing. That's not necessarily a bad thing. Yeah.
Anyway, hey, so good to see you, though. And,
Yeah, thanks, man.
I want to be respectful of your time. I'm going to let you go and rest. Take it easy.
Thank you very much.
84,000 people, stop asking questions. Come on.
Yeah, no. You know, again, like, guys, always remember, I love questions. However, I want to end with this one lesson that my teacher told me a long time ago. I remember I went to a lesson with my teacher. It was a drum lesson. And I asked my teacher, how can I be a great drummer? And he said, Mark, that's a terrible question. And I said, why? I thought there were no bad questions. He said, no, there are some questions that are terrible questions. And I said, why is it terrible? He said, because I would have to write a book to answer that question. So if you have to write a book to answer it, it's not a good question. Ask a question that doesn't need a book for an answer. Ask a question that I can answer now. If you say, how can I be fluent in English? Okay, do you have 6 months? I can tell you that answer, but I need 6 months to answer that question. All right? I need to tell you about grammar and vocabulary and pronunciation and reading and writing and listening and speaking. I need to tell you about this book and that book. And so don't ask these kinds of questions. Ask these kinds of questions.
And it's like having a meal. You're not gonna have the entire meal at one go. You're gonna break it down, and you're gonna let it regurgitate.
Yeah. So
because you puke everything out.
well, that's one way to say it. Yeah. So Anyway, ask specific questions, everybody. Ask good questions. Think about your problems. Any good student has questions. If you don't have questions, you're not a good student. But you have to have the right kinds of questions. Have questions that are good. Have questions that your teacher will like. Think about it. Ask a question that the teacher will be like, oh, that's a great question. Okay? Don't ask a question like, how can I be good? All right?
How can I learn English in a week?
Yeah, you can't.
What? I'm crazy.
Yeah.
You can't learn any language in the world in a matter of a week.
You can't learn anything that's difficult in a week. Yeah. So, anyway. All right, man. Take care. I'll see you next time. Thanks again. Bye-bye. All right, and once again, everybody, thank you guys. I have to go. I'm sick. I'm tired. I need a break. And it's lunchtime. I'll be back. What is today? Today's Friday. So I should be back tomorrow unless I'm too sick again. Okay, I was too sick yesterday. I was too sick. I couldn't. If I'm coughing too much, I can't do this. Okay? So I should be here tomorrow, but it just depends on how I feel. Okay? Okay, everybody. Thank you. Bye-bye.